Yo, yo, what's good?
Black and blessed, black and blessed. Want to welcome everybody to Unscripted Black Thoughts. I'm your man, Jordin.
And I'm JWalk.
And you already know this is the podcast dedicated to black men from black men. So, earlier, actually a couple days ago, we were on the phone and we were talking about just like what kind of cologne we be using and like what cologne like vibes with us and stuff like that. And it kind of kicked off the topic of hygiene and just like what kind of hygiene should we be having as black men. Because I don't know about you, but I pride myself in looking good, smelling good. It makes me feel good when I'm able to look good. I'm able to have a nice cut and everything, smell good, whether it's the deodorant, the cologne, body wash I'm using, the soap, brushing my teeth. I pride myself on looking good because it makes me feel a lot better. And I feel like a lot of people need, like especially a lot of like black men, we need to take better care of our hygiene, make us look more presentable, make us feel better. Because I ain't gonna lie, there's a couple of us out here that be looking a little busted, and we need to tighten that up if we're gonna be better.
Right, for sure. So that kind of brings us into our very first official episode here. If those that didn't get the chance to tune in, our last episode, the pilot episode, we talked about purpose and what it means for a black man to have purpose. If that's something you would like to check out, feel free to check it out on our YouTube channel, JordanB.talks. I want to make sure I put the dot because Lord knows it was hard to find it. Or you can just put in Unscripted Black Thoughts in the search and it'll pop up. But today's episode, as Jordin said, we're talking about hygiene. And just like last time, we have about maybe 4 or 5 questions or so that kind of will bring us into the topic of it and just get us talking about it. And so, Jordin, if you're ready to go, I'll give you our first question.
Go ahead, fire away.
All right, so we're going to first start off same way as last time, basically identifying what we're talking about. So, Jordin, what do you believe is hygiene? What exactly is hygiene? What does it mean to have it? How is it represented for a black guy or a man to have hygiene? What is it exactly?
All right, so according to the Webster's Dictionary, hygiene is a science of the establishment and maintenance of health and the conditions or practices as of cleanliness conducive to health. All right, so what does this mean in black man's terms? Because that all that sounds nice and fancy, but we need to know, what does this mean for us? Hygiene for me just means just how clean, like your cleanliness. I think it comes down to body hygiene, oral hygiene, and even like hair hygiene. But you could classify that with your body. Hygiene has, I think, different levels to it. There's different things that you can do to boost your hygiene, so that you can be clean. There are different. It's all about taking care of your body and like cleaning your body out. And again, there's different parts of it. So you have your oral, your teeth, your tongue, your mouth. Whether it's brushing, flossing, using mouthwash. You got your hair hygiene, so that means washing and conditioning your hair, the kind of styles that you get in your hair, your haircut and stuff like that. Then you got your body hygiene, so that's pretty much how your body looks, how your body smells. That comes down to your bathing patterns, what kind of soap you're using, how long you stay in the shower as well. All those kind of things go into hygiene and cleanliness.
Yeah, and I agree. I most definitely agree that hygiene is definitely something that's gonna help represent the cleanliness of your body and your looks, and I guess as I say from the song, so fresh and so clean. But yeah, and you also was labeling, like as you were describing what hygiene was, you were also kind of labeling certain different types, which was another one of my questions. The different types of hygiene that there are. I think you mentioned hair, you mentioned body, I think you mentioned teeth, or I don't know if you included that. I'm sure
Yeah,
that's those two
oral.
different. Right, oral. There we go. That's the term. Right. So And you also mentioned hair, as you could also say it could also be associated with body, but at the same time, it's like, well, I guess from that point, what hair would you associate? What would be the difference between normal hair hygiene and body hair hygiene, and what's more common for a black man to have, at least with when it comes to body hair hygiene?
Well, I mean, I kind of count them all together because you pretty much can do some of the stuff with them. I honestly think like your hair like your body hair is important too. You cleaning that as well because a lot of I think with body hair, this is a little science lesson for y'all. Your body hair, when you have hair on your body, that produces sweat and stuff. And your sweat can produce a stench. So you got to trim that up. No woman wants to be around somebody that's walking around looking like Chewbacca. Like you got to keep that seriously. Like you got to keep that trimmed up. Like if you're wearing like a low cut shirt and you got so much hair where the seam is, where the cut is, you can see hair fall, you can see hair strands flying out of there. That's a little crazy. You got to trim that up, and it's so easy to trim that up. But you could take a pair of scissors, snip, snip. You could take a razor, like an electric razor, line like cut it all, like cut it up and stuff like that. There are so many things you could do to control that and to just kind of keep that together. When but when we talk about body hair, manscaping, guys, we gotta trim down there. When we got a whole full blown package down there. We got the hair down there. It can lead to a stench. Hey, I'm gonna keep it real. Like you get the stench going throughout the day. You smell a little funky. So we got to trim that up. It controls it kind of keeps us clean down there. I ain't gonna get into any more details than that because maybe I will a little later, but we gotta keep that trimmed up. And the hair, the same thing too. We gotta with the hair on our heads, we gotta keep that. We gotta take care of that as well. You gotta wash it, condition it. Put oils in your hair, to keep your hair moisturized. That way you control the dandruff and stuff like that. Can't forget about getting your shape ups in your lineups. Nobody wants to walk around with a zigzag for a line. If you ain't gonna be able to pick up nobody, you ain't gonna be able to talk to nobody with a zigzag in your hair. So you got to know how to line yourself up. Whether you're going to a barber, whether you're doing it yourself, get you a nice little shape up, a nice little cut, whatever you want to rock. But it's all you gotta know how to take care of your body hair because your body hair leads to contributes to other things. It contributes to dandruff. It contributes to body odor. It contributes to your look, your overall look and appearance. So like that body hair, you gotta take care of that.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, and I think we've all seen those movies or those cartoons when they're the guys, if they haven't taken care of their hygiene in a long time, or if they've been like in a jungle or something for a while, then all of a sudden you just see like this, all their hair is just all long and grown out, and you see the little cartoon stench line that's going from them, and it more or less, those might be a little bit more on extreme terms, but yeah, that he makes a good point, saying that uh all that stuff will kick in, from the dandruff and the stench and stuff, and just your overall appearance. I mean, because I'm pretty sure no one wants to come up to a person that's looking like a whole caveman out here. I mean, like we don't want that. So it's important to make sure that we stay well trimmed and well groomed. And also, by the way, I don't want to mix up the idea of someone that likes to have, say like a beard or something, and versus someone that that's just fully shaved, because right now I mean I can't grow a beard. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to. I mean, who knows, maybe down the line we'll see. But for those of y'all out there that likes to have have like a beard, or really long hair, like really long dreads and stuff, we're not saying that you have to shave it in order to look good. We're just saying that gotta make sure get you a nice as my dad would call it, a shape up every now and then. Get that line up right, smooth things out, and just from doing stuff like that, your appearance will look, it'll be like walking in the world from, at least me saying that I wear glasses, not wearing glasses where it's all blurry to all of a sudden being able to see 2020 and it's all just picture clear. Like that's just how much of a difference it really will make if you allow yourself to be, you know, well groomed and trim, or just getting a nice shape up foundation built on.
I was gonna say it's just also as black men, you know, society's already looking at us and labeling us as dangerous, unapproachable. You know, they're already labeling us as those kind of things. You know, hygiene, whether you know it or not, again, hygiene it pans into your and it goes into your personal appearance. If you're looking like that, that's exactly how they're gonna perceive. Like they're gonna like society right now. They're gonna perceive us as how we appear. You know, our first impression is our looks. And if we already looking like we fresh off the street, like just rough, a straight up roughneck, they gonna perceive us like that. Before we even get a chance to say something, we could be the smartest person on the planet. We can be out here with a Harvard degree, you know, or working at NASA, the next great engineer, next great Tesla. Um, but if we don't have the appearance, they ain't even they're not gonna give us that shot. They're not even gonna give us the time of day, or they're gonna look at us and just give us the side eye glance and keep it pushing. You know, they're not gonna really try to listen to us. So for us, especially, it's important for us to, you know, look the part, look presentable, because we already got a mark, we already got a bullseye on our back and a strike against us. You know, because we're black, because we are black and we're men. They already get looking at us like they ain't trying to give us much credit. They ain't gonna give us give us what's the phrase I'm looking for? They ain't gonna cut as much slack, you know. So we got to make sure that we go above and beyond, and it starts with our appearance. We look the part, we can nail everything else down.
Pretty much, and you know, and I can even speak from personal experience. You know, like literally. And again, you know, I know we're not on video. Who knows? Maybe one day we might do a video. But, you know, I'm a, you know, of course, yeah, black guy. But you know, like I'm a fairly short guy. Like I'm like 5'4". And back in my early college days, especially high school, but my early college days, Jordin can tell you. By the way, if anyone wants to know how we met, we were college roommates. Uh, but you know, back in the day, I didn't really keep up. I didn't keep up my hair very much. I hardly ever went to the barber shop. If I did, I went probably once every 2 months, maybe if I'm lucky. And I had I my hair was always never. I never had a real lineup. It was. I mean, you know, of course, I would brush my hair or I would pick it out or comb it, but you know, I didn't really take care of it much. And then I didn't shampoo it or wash it as often. I didn't even know how often to wash it. And before I knew it, every time I just so much as had one wave of my hand go across my head, I see some snowflakes going down. I'm like, all right, so I need to fix that. Um, and I didn't get a lot of attention, you know, in college, I think, because of my appearance. But now that I'm practically getting a haircut almost pretty much every single week, definitely no more than 2 weeks. I never go no longer than 2 weeks without a haircut. And I'm washing my hair as often as I need to. I got the right conditioner and shampoo, and really that dives into other questions, but I'm gonna label that later until we identify the rest of the hygienes. But yeah, and ever since I started doing that, I was getting a lot more attention all of a sudden. And so I'm telling you, if for whatever reason you feel like that, you know, you may not be getting a lot of attention, or if you feel like you know, you wish that people could, you know, could view you a little bit more highly, just something as small as a haircut or a shape up will definitely could easily fix that. No problem. But you have to maintain it too. Like always make sure it looks that way.
I'm gonna just say this much: if you trying to pick up some women, trying to get, you know, more confident, and you looking for tips, listen to this. We got you.
And even if you're a guy that's, you know, just kind of living life right now, and you're not really seeking anybody, that's okay. You should still want you should still want yourself to look as good as you can for your own self. Like you yourself should want to look good. And so by all means, that's as far as getting a haircut, taking care of it, all that, very important for sure. Um, and Jordan, unless you had anything else to say on the hair, we can dive into another hygiene if you like.
Go ahead, fire away.
All right, so let's see. What? I guess we'll work our way down. So let's see. We talked about hair on top of our hair. Well, hair is everywhere, so it's kind of about working our way down. I mean, it's already all over us. I guess why don't we dive into oral? So oral hygiene. So how important is that for you or for any black man? How important should it be? And what are your thoughts on that?
Man, I'm so glad we're going to oral because oral is my favorite one. All right, I'm gonna just say it like this much. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, when I am approached by somebody new, my eyes first gravitate towards somebody's mouth. I need to like that. I hate to say it, but that's kind of how I judge. I judge a person right off the bat. My first impression is, what's your mouth looking like? I don't like, and especially with women, I don't like talking to any women who can't keep up their oral hygiene. And when I mean keep up with your oral hygiene, I mean you're brushing on the regular, like you're brushing at least twice a day. You're using mouthwash. I mean, I'm not saying you gotta use mouthwash every single day, but I need to see a bottle of mouthwash in your house. Like I need to see a bottle of mouthwash somewhere in your house, definitely in your bathroom. If you invite me over to your house, some floss. I'm personally not a huge on the floss. I like the floss toothpicks. I like to use those. But like, and I need to like I pride myself, and I pride myself so much on oral hygiene because I know what it's like to have. I know what it's like to have some busted up teeth. I know what it's like to have gaps in the smile and stuff like that. Now, the gaps in the smile, I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. I ain't gonna judge you if you have a gap in your smile. But you gotta have some white teeth. Like, your teeth can't be, crooked in gaps, and they're yellow and busted up, and you having missing teeth. Like, that drives me absolutely up a wall when I see somebody, especially somebody young, with a bunch of teeth that are gapped up, look like a checkerboard, because seriously, because you're missing so many teeth, and then the teeth you do got are busted up. Like, bro, your teeth should not be tilted like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Like, they got so many things. They have so many different things out here that you can use that can take care of your teeth. I mean, if you got crooked teeth, you got Invisalign out here, you got braces, like you got different things that you could use. If you got missing teeth, they got implants, they got dentures, like they got so many things, veneers, like you got so many different things that you could use to make your mouth look way more presentable. And if your teeth are yellow, I mean, I might hurt some of y'all feelings, but I know y'all heard of toothpaste. I know as black men, we heard of toothpaste, and we got to start using that more. Ain't no reason why our teeth are as yellow as a bag of popcorn. It don't make no damn sense. We gotta brush our teeth. Like, you can't you can't expect to look presentable, and then when you open your mouth, you got missing teeth, and your teeth are all yellow, and your breath smells like funk, just straight funk. If you open up your mouth, and we are about 4 or 5 feet away, and I could smell what you ate, or I could smell I don't even know the word to use. You have just straight dragon breath, or we got problems. We got serious problems. You should not open your mouth, and as soon as you open your mouth, just funk whips out. You got to take better care of yourself. It's not just about having, nice white teeth. It's also about how your breath smells. Like, I don't know about, like, for JWalk, I don't know about you, but for me, like, I always did this even when I was in middle school and stuff, especially in middle school, because this is when I really started priding myself in that, in having good oral hygiene, because that's when I had braces. I just had my braces on. I always carry, like, a pack of, like, mints. Like, I always carry a pack of Tic Tacs or icebreakers. Or, when I got my braces removed, I always had a pack of, like, Orbit gum, like sweet mint Orbit gum. Because for me, like, especially when I'm done eating, I like to pop one of those things in my mouth, like a mint or something in my mouth, because it freshens up my breath. You know, I understand if like you eating something and you got like garlic breath or something like that, but that's why for me, I always carry a pack of mints or something on the side. That way, I can enjoy my food and I still have the ability to like freshen up my mouth a bit. You know, even though I don't have a toothbrush there to brush my teeth, in public, I can just pop a couple mints in my mouth, and those mints will freshen up my breath. You know, go through my do toothpick floss type thing, get all the stuff out my teeth and stuff like that. And I might do that in the bathroom for like a minute, 2 minutes while I'm in the bathroom, and my mouth is presentable again. I feel good, you know. So I like to have like a pack of mints or something on the side, with me, and I carry that at all times to the point where like I can eat a bowl of cereal in the morning, and 5-10 minutes later you'll see me pop two icebreakers in my mouth, pop pop, and that's about it, you know. Or I'm running to the bathroom with my little toothpicks and I'm picking my teeth out. You know, I don't like to have my mouth looking a mess because, you know, while I'm at work, I'm talking to people. I don't want them smelling that I ate a greasy hamburger for lunch. You know, my breath smells like straight beef and sweat. Like I like when I talk to people, I like for them to, you know, they you know they don't, they're not just focused on my mouth. You know, they're not looking at me and just like, oh, well, let me stay a couple feet away from this man because his breath stink. Or ooh, his teeth are kind of jank. Like, look at that, you got a little gank on this. No, I like, you know, when I open my mouth, I like people to smile. You know, because I like to smile. I love to smile. And so that's why I take pride in my mouth. You know, it just makes it accentuates your features. You know, and it makes you feel good when your breath is smelling good and everything. It makes you feel a lot better knowing that you got some good teeth in there.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, man, you said a lot. As y'all can tell, this man really has a huge passion for this. So you can tell on that. But I completely agree with you, man. Trust me. I think it's. I mean, because not only does, as you've mentioned, like take hair for example. Hair, you're just kind of just it's just a look. But teeth, that's look, and theoretically, it's also smell because there's your breath, as you said, and it's like that automatically, it just really makes it very important to make sure that you're maintaining it and keeping it up. And again we'll get into the whole procedure type of things for hygiene a little later down the line. But right now I'm just trying to get through all the different ones before we get there. um, but yeah, no. So, but if you have any problems with your teeth or with your oral hygiene, or if you feel like, man, I wish my teeth was whiter, or man, I wish I didn't have any missing teeth, or man, I wish that I was able to fix my teeth. Yeah, as Jordan said, there are several ways and options out there. Some way cheaper than others, of course. But there are several different options for why you should be able to at least fix your oral hygiene to the extent to where you can be happy and feel a lot more confident about yourself and things in that nature with it. And I do like the idea of the breath mints. I personally have not done that. No one's ever told me about that really. I've seen people do it, and I remember you doing it when we were in college. And you would offer me one at times. It really would come in clutch. That's another thing. Those breath mints, Tic Tacs, they come in clutch. They really do come in clutch because you never. I mean, because I swear to you, you can brush your teeth and floss in the morning, and then you could have like, I don't know. Let's just say a bowl of not rotten eggs, but a bowl of like deviled eggs or something for breakfast, and then all of a sudden now you got egg breath, and it's like, but you don't want to brush your teeth again, so. I mean, so yeah, it just, I mean, you could if you want to. I mean, it's the options out there. I mean, unless you're already out and about. And that's the other thing. If you're already out and about, or if you're with somebody, you want to make sure that your breath is continuously going to smell good. So yeah, get you the gum, breath mint, Tic Tac, anything like that. It'll definitely come in clutch. Like you'll never really realize how much in clutch it'll come until you actually just have just a small little package in your pocket. Like it'll definitely play a big role in there. Um, but George, you have anything else on hygiene? You already said press a lot on hygiene on your end. I already know, or oral hygiene that is.
Yeah, I mean, I can only give y'all like some of the tips that I do because I'm so big on oral hygiene. It honestly came from my mother being huge on oral hygiene. Like this woman, she literally from the time I was like 3 or 4 years old, I was literally I think I had one cavity when I was 6 years old, 6 or 7 years old, and from then on, I had a toothbrush in my mouth every day. Like I made sure that that was the last cavity I would get. But I can only share some of my tips. Like again, I brush twice a day. Every time I get up, again, I had braces, so like I understand the struggle of like having braces and how to maintain braces as well. Every night I pop my retainer in and out of my mouth, because I like my teeth being straight. Like again, that ain't like a huge thing. Like if you got crooked teeth, I understand, and you don't, I understand it. But for me, I did not like my crooked teeth. I needed braces, had it for half my life, and so for me, I like to have my teeth straight. I got bigger teeth, so I gotta keep these teeth as clean as possible, as presentable as possible, because they big. Um, but I floss, use my little toothpicks. I got my breath mints with me. Um, and sometimes there's some days where like I'll take an extra toothbrush with me on the side. Like I have a little toothbrush I keep in my bag. Um, and if I want to like brush, if I'm eating something that gets stuck in like my teeth, I'll take the toothbrush. Even if I don't have toothpaste with me, take the toothbrush, rinse it with some water, and I'll just like brush. I'll just brush out whatever the areas to get the stuff out. I'll do that. You can do that as well. I'll drink if I don't have mouthwash right there. I'll take some water. I'll put like a cup of water in my mouth, like rinse it around my mouth, get some of the food out and the particles out as well, spit it out. So I'll do little things to just kind of make sure that my mouth is as presentable as possible throughout the day. Even if I don't have some of the means, like I don't have like a toothbrush, toothpaste, I find other ways to kind of get around it so that my mouth is as fresh as possible throughout the day. Because I've been on both sides of the spectrum where my mouth was looking busted up and couldn't do anything, and I've been on the clean side, and I always choose the clean side because it just for me it's a huge confidence booster for me. I tell anybody now like I don't leave the house without brushing my teeth. It's to the point where I think a couple times I was actually late to work because I went back to the house and brushed my teeth. Or I stood in the bathroom and just brushed my teeth. Like I don't play around with that.
Right, and and again, well, we're gonna definitely get to. You're bringing a lot of good points, which is gonna lead into other questions. But if I say those questions now, trust me, those answers are gonna be way longer because there's gonna be so much impacted into them. So but I will say one more thing about it before I go. Before we go to the next hygiene thing. Me personally, I know growing up as a kid, I was told to brush. I brush my teeth pretty much every morning. I didn't, for whatever reason, I don't know why, I didn't really grow up brushing my teeth both twice a day. I didn't do it in the morning and at night. I was just only told just to do it in the morning, and so that's what I did. And then they were telling you to brush your teeth for like 3 minutes, or at least really like in circles and all that stuff. And I would do that. But I was more or less like the average kid. Like if I had a cavity, I had a cavity. But I still did make sure that my hygiene wasn't too bad. Like I made sure that at least while I was smaller, I was still making sure on a more or less daily basis, I was still making sure I was brushing my teeth and doing what I need to do. But then as I got older and I started realizing even more of the importance of it, that's when I started really trying to be like, okay, well, maybe I should need to be brushing once or twice a day. And some people I've even found it even does it 3 times a day. And then I've never, and that's another thing. I never even my family I didn't even grow up on what's that stuff called? The liquid stuff that you use, the wash mouthwash. Is that what it's called? I didn't even
Mouthwash.
Yeah, I didn't even grow up on that. We just brushed our teeth and then rinsed our mouth out with the sink water and called it a day. But I didn't even grow up with mouthwash, so that was kind of new for me as an adult, more or less. So I don't know, but we'll get in. Trust me, we're gonna get into all of the little things that's specific of how we do that and whatnot. But let's move on to the next one. And I guess to give my opinion a little bit more, let's see, we can talk about what was the next thing I had? Oh, facial hygiene. Because I think face also should be a part of that. I mean, because it's something that you should definitely want clean. I mean, you want clean, you want a clean face, you want pure skin, you want to look good. Where your eyes, your cheeks, your mustache if you got one, your beard if you have one, eyebrows for those. I would hope that everybody has eyebrows, but and I know for me, I try to make sure I wash my face on a daily basis as well. Usually, that's also something I just do really once a day. I might go into doing it before bed too, or we'll see. Um, and especially nowadays, like I'm trying to do what I can do to make sure my face is as clear as I can make it. But of course, that also can kind of play a role into having like a facial routine, like having that cleanser and having, if those that has dry skin, maybe some extra oils of some sort. Shea butter for us black men. Shea butter helps some. And then there's also just in some cases we're drinking enough water too. And I know water, drinking water, that kind of deep dives into like health like related topics, but for this specific one and talking about our face and cleaning our face, I think it's also good to mention that it's very important to also make sure that you're drinking the right amount of water that you need to per day, because most definitely, and it's been proven. My mom's already proven this before. If you go like, I'd say at least 2 to 3 weeks, if even that long, really 1 week, I'd say 1 to 2 weeks, and drink nothing but water. Like if that's the only thing you have to drink, like just water, your face and skin will literally start to clear up, and you will really see a difference in like a week or two. Like it really does play a big role as far as that's concerned. Um, but yeah, Jordan, what about you on faces?
Face is definitely important. I'm big on keeping my face clear and keeping my face clean. I am huge on exfoliating, washing my face every morning, exfoliating my face because even if you don't wash your face every day, your body, like your face, and even if you're not really doing too much, your face gathers up a lot of like dead skin and stuff, and
Oh yeah, that too. That's right.
yeah, it gains up a lot of oils and stuff. And, you got to clean that oil. You got to clean those oils out. You got to clean your pores out. So for me, I like to exfoliate. I'll use exfoliating cream. I use a lot of like what is it? What's that brand? It's a certain brand my mom got me on. I think it's like Foundation or something like that. Or
Yeah.
yeah, but I use some of that. It cleans out my face, cleans out my pores. Nice facial scrub. Black soap. If you're looking for stuff to use, black soap, especially for black men, that works well. In skin cleanliness, and clean up your face. Black men, it's important. It's important that we get shaved. It's important that we keep our clean shave, but it's also important that we know how to clean our face before and after we shave, because with us, a lot of times we are prone to bad razor bumps and stuff, and so for us, we got to know how to treat that kind of stuff, and also prevent that kind of stuff. So what I do, some of the stuff that I do is, I always use like a pre-shave like cream, a pre-shave rinse or whatever to kind of clean my pores, soften up my skin beforehand. And then when I shave, I always shave. You never shave against the grain, because that's how you get the ingrown hairs in your skin and stuff. That's how you get the razor bump, even real razor bumps. But after I shave, and then after I shave, what I like to do is I like to close my pores. I I like to close my pores. So what I'll do is I'll take a rag and rinse it under cold water, and I'll apply the cold water rag to my skin, with every area that I shaved, and that'll close in my pores, so that like I don't have as much. It stops like any like dirt or dust that's flying in the air to trap in your pores and stuff. You know, it closes up your pores immediately, so it reduces the risk of razor bumps and everything. You know, so the hairs don't have time to like curl back into the skin. So I'll do that, and then afterwards I'll apply that for maybe like a few seconds, like 30 seconds or a minute or so, and then I'll put on aftershave. I'll splash on the aftershave on my face and stuff like that. Give me the, clean my, apply the alcohol, so it just like it reinforces and closes up the pores completely. But those are some of the things I do like when I'm done shaving, because I spent years trying to figure out a good shaving routine. I'm still working through some of them, working out a few of the kinks to my shaving routine so that it could be at its best. But those are some of the things that like I did that like from the start of shaving to like now, I've seen a drastic improvement where like if I do get razor bumps, they're not as bad. It's not as bad of a breakout, and they don't last as long, you know. So if I do get razor bumps, they might last for like maybe a couple of days. Like they might last for like maybe 3 or 4, like 2-3 days, but they're never getting to like a week or like 5 days. I'm never having a razor bump, like bad razor bumps for more than like 2 days or 3 days if I have them, you know. And it makes my skin feel a lot better as well. You know, my face doesn't have as many bumps, doesn't have as many, spots and blotches on them. Like, it makes me feel a lot better. And it makes the shave look a lot better as well. It makes it feel a lot better too. But, I'm still working out my shaving routine. And I'm still working out, like, my facial routine and stuff like that. But for the most part, just exfoliating your skin on a nice basis. Just going through getting a proper, shaving routine is key as well. And drinking water. Matter of fact, looking it up, the average male is supposed to be drinking 3.7 liters of water a day. That averages out to about like 7 or 8 bottles of water. If you're looking for that in glasses, that's about, I want to say, 12 to 13 cups or glasses of water a day that you should be drinking. So there you go. If you're a glass drinker, just count 13 glasses of water a day. If you a bottle drinker, 7 to 8 bottles of water a day. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you do that, your face will clear up in less than a week. Your face will clean up in like a couple of days if you do that, and like you're doing the proper skincare routine. You'll clean up. Your face will clear up in a matter of like half the time, like maybe 3 or 4 days.
Right, exactly, and that just goes to show how important that that is. And right before we get into the other hygiene, I'll say for those of you guys out there that doesn't have a beard or doesn't have like any real facial hair. I mean, I have like a mustache and like some chin hair, but that's more or less about it. But the thing is, I'll also have hair that's growing on the sides of my cheeks, kind of like peach fuzz in a way, but like they're kind of random. Like some hairs will be a little longer than others, some will stay really short, and then when you feel on it, it just feels all rough. Like it's
Porcupine quills.
Porcupine quills. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. If for those of you that has that, like that will tend to have that, like I do. You get yourself like I have me like one of those actual hair cutters like that they be using at the barbershop for our head hair. I literally I just go over my cheeks with that just for what quick 15-30 seconds, and then before I know it, all smooth, all of it's gone. Like just something as simple as that will just make your face look a whole lot more exposed, and it'll look a lot cleaner just from that. You don't have to go into the barbershop to do that. That's something you can do yourself. But yeah, Okay. Let's see. Now we talked about what it was. We had hair. We had oral hygiene. We had facial hygiene. I should have included ears within that as well. Let's just say this: make sure you're cleaning your ears out. Don't have your ears all full of earwax and shit. Like it's not necessary. Just make sure we clean that out. And also clean behind your ears. That's something that I was not told growing up either. Like I didn't really think about that until like way later in life. But there's actually stuff that gets back there, just like everywhere else on your body. I mean, no one thinks about it, but when you actually go over with a towel, you'll actually see stuff gets back there sometimes. So go over your ears. But let's see. I think the only other thing that would be that we would talk to about is, I guess, our overall body hygiene. So I guess things like our nails, for those that really cares about our nails. Things like
nails.
huh.
Care about your nails. It's just nobody wants to walk around with somebody who is turning into Wolverine or turning into a damn wolf. Cut your nails, man. It takes you 20 seconds. Get you a nail clipper. Promise you can find them at a dollar store. If you be in Chintzy, go to your local dollar store, get you a pair of nail clippers. Click, 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 click. Takes you maybe 5-10 minutes.
And those of y'all that's out there that's a musician like I am, you shouldn't be having any nails anyway. So you should definitely make sure your nails stay short, because you gotta have that. And then and again with the whole body sort of thing, because sometimes that goes, I guess, into showers, which I guess is the last hygiene topic. There might be something else I'm missing, but maybe trimming your nose hair, maybe if you got any. But yeah, I guess the last other thing would be shower. Shower stuff and dealing with what's the stuff that you spray under your armpits called? Deodorant.
Yeah, deodorant.
Or those that has the spray. Some people prefer the actual stuff, or whatever. The sticks. But yeah, also making sure that you shower every day is also very, making sure that's also very important as well. Making sure that you stay clean, because just like with your face, where it can collect oils and dirt and dead skin. Your whole body is like that too. I mean, even from you just sleeping on your bed at nighttime, like you can get stuff from your bed sheets, especially if you haven't cleaned those in like a week or two. Like the stuff then stuff from clothes. Like if you're a guy that likes to rewear clothes, not saying there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with re-wearing clothes. I have a problem with alliteration sometimes. But if you do that, that's fine. But you also have to make sure that that stuff is still clean. It's still clean. You're not putting on no dirty clothes. You're not putting on something that you've been wearing 5 times already within the past week. You want to make sure that you got the right deodorant type of stuff. And then there's cologne too. That'll also give you a nice body smell to have. And to some extent, I think cologne and deodorant really can play a role in as far as for who you are as a person, like the type of smell you want, like the type of scent, because some people can honestly be identified very well just by their scent. And I mean, I'm sure that there is plenty of y'all out there who's met a chick or who's met a girl where literally she'll just walk past you and you can smell how good she smells just from walking past her. Because women, they have all that. They make sure they got all that stuff on them, so they can make sure that we noticing how good they smell. It's more or less, it can be the same thing for us guys. Maybe not as potent or strong, but yeah, like I mean, the cologne, the right deodorant combination, that'll help a whole lot. But also making sure that you definitely take a shower every day. Some people takes it twice a day. I think some people may even do it more than that. Jordin, do you have any insight on it?
Yeah, I would say definitely shower. That's important. You collect body odor every single day. Like, just shower. And even if you're not going anywhere, you're not leaving your house, and you're not doing anything, you know, get a wipe, like do a wipe off. Like, and you got to be scrubbing yourself down, getting all that oil and all that dirt off you, some way, somehow. But definitely shower. For me, again, I'm a bit of a neat freak when it comes to my body. When I shower, I always follow it up with like some sort of like body spray, or some sort of like spray, or some sort of like oil. 'Cause I'm actually transitioning to oil instead of cologne, because I find that it's actually reaping some benefits to me, my body. I'll rub that on me. I'm using different soap. I'm using black soaps more to scrub. Whenever I want to scrub certain areas and exfoliate certain areas. It's all about also knowing what kind of soaps that you need to use too as black men. Like, for me, I like to use Dial. Irish Spring is a little hit or miss with it. I'm more of like a Dial. Dove is Dove too. So that's not bad. Deodorant, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you a black man, Axe, no. Like, we passed them days of Axe. Like, Axe body spray and stuff like the Axe body sprays and stuff, that's for high school. That's like for teenagers and stuff. When you start getting to being like an older man, you gotta start transitioning to more mature scents and more mature things. Body spray, that ain't, nah. Like, it's time to start using cologne. It's time to start using like oil fragrances and stuff like that. It's time to start using those type of things, because those are the kind of things that last us longer. I remember, and this is where I knew that I outgrew Axe. I used Axe in high school one time, because I swore by it in middle school. Like, after I got out of the gym, or after I got done with like my sports practices, I use Axe, freshen myself up, go to class. But this is how I knew that I was done with Axe. 17 years old, I had to volleyball practice. I tried using Axe, to freshen myself up before leaving. And I think I smelled good for like 5 minutes. I smelled like the Axe. And this is me like after taking a wipe off and stuff, in the school, I put on the Axe. 5 minutes later, I smelled like straight funk and ass. And I'm like, bro, I just put this Axe on. Like, how do I still smell? And so I used it one more time. I used it like 2 or 3 more times, excuse me. Cause I'm like, what? I probably didn't take a good enough wipe off. Nah, it wasn't a wipe off. It's the fact that my body outgrew it. I had so much, like, my body had outgrew that the body spray. At that point, it wasn't working for me. At that point, I'm like, you know what? I gotta start bringing cologne. And after that, I think, my senior year of high school, I kept a bottle of cologne. I kept like a small little bottle of like Calvin Klein and Dolce in my book bag. After gym, I was spraying myself down with Dolce. And I'm gonna tell you right now, my men, hey yo, if y'all don't use colognes, y'all need to start using colognes, because ladies love it. Ladies will they love that smell. Especially if you're a younger man, they smell some Dolce or some Polo or something like that. I'm telling you, that'll do it. But like the older you get, the more you should stop. Like, the more you should start weaning away from body sprays as like your primary like smell good fragrance. Like, if you want to use it when you first come out the bathroom or whatever, when you get out the shower, you spray a little. You put on your deodorant, of course. Do not use that as a substitute for deodorant. I promise you, you can get your feelings hurt out here. Put on your deodorant, then, you spray yourself down before you go to bed. That's perfectly fine. But if you using that as like your cologne, like you take a shower and then like you got to go out somewhere and you spray yourself with Axe or body spray, I promise you gonna get made fun of, because that's just not it ain't gonna hold you like you put on some Dolce, or you put on some Polo or something like that, some Diesel, or just some sort of fragrance. That some sort of like cologne fragrance. You gotta apply that, but you gotta take a shower first. You can't just apply cologne without the shower, because that's just That's literally just putting oil on top of funk. You're just mixing sense. It ain't gonna make any sense. Um, yeah, I know y'all like that one, but yeah, no, it's just like it's just knowing like what fragrances and what products to use, and everybody's body is different. Like I'm not gonna tell you to use a certain type of deodorant if you're using it and it breaks you out or it's not holding you. Like you just kind of gotta change. You just gotta kind of just go via trial and error with this kind of stuff. Like whether it's soaps or deodorants and stuff, whatever your body reacts to the best, stick with it. Like use that. Like for me, I went from in terms of deodorant at least, I went from using like Mitchum. Oh, stay away from Speed Stick deodorants. Speed Stick, what is that? Mitchell. Stay away from those. Those are cheaper ones. I went from using the cheaper ones because hard knocks, and then and then I went to Axe. I went to Axe a little bit, and then like now I'm on Old Spice. I'm finding that Old Spice actually lasts me pretty long and actually does me well. So I'm actually on the Old Spice, and I think a little bit of Dove. Like if Dove is like once every blue moon, but Old Spice is kind of that's the sweet spot for me. Especially when it comes to body wash, like body wash and soap, Old Spice. I swear by Old Spice now. Like I get what the commercials be saying because that should be working, but like
Yeah.
yeah, like cologne. Cologne's another one where it goes by your body type as well. Like for me, Calvin Klein works. Calvin Klein and Polo work. I like something that's a little bit stronger. I like stronger smelling colognes. So I tend to go to stuff like Polo and Calvin Klein. Certain Calvin Kleins, because some Calvin Kleins are smooth, and smooth will work, but it doesn't last me as long. Like I needed something loud. So it's all about, you just got to find like what stuff, works for you, and, go with that. It's going to take a minute. It's going to take trial and error. You're going to try different fragrances and different stuff. And some of it might not work. Some of it might work, but you just got to try it out and, just experiment a little bit.
Right, exactly. And now we're about 8 7 minutes away from an hour, so I'm gonna try to wrap things up around here. But I guess he and kind of Jordan, you already kind of said more or less of one of the last few questions about the difference between how do we go about these different things, like as far as like our routines, or for our routine for taking care of our teeth, our routine for taking care of our hair, and routine for showers, and routines for deodorant and all that other sort of stuff. You were kind of mentioning that stuff as you kept going, and I'm actually glad you did, because we actually ended up using more time than I thought we would. But all in all, though, from an overall perspective of everything, hygiene is very very important, and it will boost it, and it will boost your self-esteem as a man. It really does, because I mean, think about it. How can you not feel good when your mouth tastes fresh, your hair is got that fresh haircut, you got that lineup going, your face is nice and clear and shaved, and it's where it's where it needs to be. You smell good. You coming out of the shower always feels good, and your body and skin is gonna feel all smooth and stuff. I mean, like you got the fresh cologne and you smell nice. I mean, like when you put all of this stuff together and really prioritize it very well, and find the routine, and find the right oils, find the right essential things, and shampoos and conditioners and body wash and deodorant, oil, shea butter, whatever. When you put all of that together, I mean, you're just gonna feel like you're just about 5 or 10 times as stronger of a human being, just from doing this stuff and keeping up with it. That's the biggest thing. Making sure that you keep up with it. If you have a problem keeping up with it, you can do the 21-day challenge, because they, scientifically speaking, they say that it takes about 21 days for you to develop a habit. So if you get into a habit of keeping your teeth clean, making sure your hair is always on point, using the right essentials, oils and things you need, taking a shower every day, or more than one if you want to, making sure your bed sheets are clean, making sure you're drinking a water and enough water every single day. Like doing all of this stuff in general. If you do that for 21 days straight, you're going to automatically just fall into the habit of doing it. And once you fall into the habit of doing it, I promise you, it's going to feel so much of a routine that it'll be just second nature. And that's what you need. That's what any black man, or really anybody in general, should want to have or should need for themselves. And I guess the last question that I did have, but I'm not going to really spend much time on it, was were certain hygienes more important than others? And honestly, I can tell you from my own personal experience, because like I said, in college, I wasn't taking care of myself fully hygiene wise. Like, I didn't always have a good haircut. I didn't. I hardly ever used mouthwash. I more or less. I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually was using the Axe body spray, but I didn't really, think about it much. No one ever told me I smelled bad. No one ever told me I smelled good either. Like, I never got any compliments, and nor did I got any complaints. So I just thought I was all right. But I know for a fact that after now and considering everything, now it's like I'm getting all this attention, and it really does play a big role. All of it together is very important. It's all very very important to consider doing, and that's just the way it is.